This went viral from a new author on X this week who is going off on a review being kind of negative, but it's not even like kind of negative. It's a 3-star review and just abject panic. And this got a lot of heat from different individuals because this is not how authors should act whatsoever when it comes to reviews. It's a very tricky thing. Reviews are interesting on Amazon and definitely something to pay attention to. But I see this whole situation go down, and like this person who built a giant Twitter X profile, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I noticed that like her entire shtick seems to be just like being like, I'm not very talented, I'm bummed out, and then getting responses off of that. It's like a dopamine sort of thing. But this is not how you act as a professional author. We'll get into all of this in just a moment. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things books and, of course, science fiction and fantasy especially. I am a science fiction writer myself. This is my Stars Entwined. And as you can see, I've got a lot of reviews on here, a lot of positive reviews. This is a beautiful space opera that is a 3-book trilogy. It starts here, gets even better over the course of the trilogy. It really builds up. I built a story that really, really pays off in the 3rd book. So check this out. If you like science fiction, it's about humanity being at war with an alien species who's mysterious, and a human spy embeds himself on that alien starship to bring back information to Earth that's crucial to the situation. He gets personally involved in a big way, and it's a lot of fun. So if you like Babylon 5, if you like The Old Man's War, if you like Lois McMaster Bujold, you're definitely going to love this stuff. Thank you so much for reading, and it is available on ebook, print, and audiobook for you. Now I've got a number of reviews, as you can see. And, of course, I get hit quite a bit by people who are just bad actors who just are like, they hate me, right? And you could tell they do because, look, none of them are verified reviews, so they didn't even bother reading it, obviously. Is this supposed to be satire? Who is this? And you could see that like some people in here will even like note things that are like gosh, I'm trying to find one of them because I've seen ones actually talking about it being bad because of me, but that happens before. I don't complain about them though. You just leave them because what are you going to do? Some people are going to like things, some people are going to not like things. You move on with your day. I got overwhelmingly positive response, and as a book goes on, you get a lot more positive responses from people who read it and liked it. That's just kind of the nature of the business. It is important. Now, Amazon reviews are important, but they're not important for the reason you think. The reason you think is like, oh, people are actually going to sift through reviews and check out whether they think a book's good or not. That's not usually what happens on these sorts of things. But the number, what happens is they look at this and they say, okay, 4.2 stars. It's a solid rating. It's professional quality. There's 184 of them, right? And so when they see that many of them, there's social proof involved in your marketing. And when you run advertising on Amazon ads and the like, they go, okay, this is a book that has a lot of reviews on it. I'm going to check it out and review it. By the way, if you've not reviewed like a couple of my books, guys, I've got some newer ones out called The Demon's Eye and The Immortal Edge. Those ones need reviews pretty good. So if you could go on there, if you have read those and leave a review or a rating, I'd really appreciate it because it's always very helpful to get that. So, guys, check this out. Like I said, get on my newsletter as well. You get 3 free books for doing so, and I appreciate you all for being here and being readers. Let's get into this and why it's kind of a bad thing. So as I said, Amazon reviews are not really helpful because they don't give you, like, as a writer, generally, much of a, like, feedback where you're like, okay, this is what my readers want, this is what my readers don't want, this is what I need to improve at. You don't tend to get a lot of that. If you get that, usually that's a reader emailing you directly, and I appreciate that, by the way. I get a lot of reader emails on stuff, and I've had this happen in the past, like where people like, I really like this character. I wish you would have developed him more or whatever, and that ended up becoming the Steam Night because people were saying they liked the character of James so much and wanted him developed. And so I decided to give him his own book because readers gave me that feedback. That's what's useful. Now on Amazon, you don't get a lot. You usually get some pretty undetailed stuff that's not very helpful because it's tough. People don't have time to write essays on the books typically that are useful unless there's somebody who's really angry at you, at which point they'll do so just because they want to try to gotcha you, right? And that doesn't help either. So you don't look at these type of things as a professional author as anything other than I want a big number of these so that I have social proof that a lot of people have read this book for my advertising, right? But beyond that, like you don't usually complain about it. Now this is pretty interesting. She got her first verified review, and she complained about it being 3 stars. And look at what it says right here. Overall, the story is good. Okay. Well, be happy. I'm sorry somebody gave a star rating. And you know what? Some people give 5 stars automatically if they like the book and finish the book. Some people give a 3, saying that's the average book. Some people just give it kind of a 4-star unless it's something special, and then a 3-star if it's a little less. That's kind of what I do. I usually rate a book a 4-star if I just kind of like it, and I rate a book a 5-star if I really like it, and I rate a book a 3-star if I'm not that into it, and I rate a book like a 1 or 2-star if there's like substantive problems with it to where it's like I can't even finish it. So that's kind of my thought on things. So, but however, like I said, some people give 3 stars to just good books. So why would you be upset about this? You could see that this person is just like, okay, like crying on X, like trying to be like, oh, I got a bad review. And that's exactly what an author should not do in this situation. That's why this started to go viral. As you could see, 345,000 views on this because of it. And people are like, gosh, buck up, woman, because this is ridiculous. And as you can see, genuinely reading the full review, I wanted to crawl under my duvet and cry. But for the record, the grammatical errors they flagged have been fixed. Not that it matters now. Oh, cry me a river. You got 1 3-star review. Not a big deal whatsoever. You're going to get a lot worse than that. I said immediately, caring about reviews other than the number of them for social proof is broke behavior. And that's what it is, broke behavior. Because if you're noticing 1 review as an author, it means you are thin-skinned, and it means that you are not really a professional author, because I don't have time to sift through all my reviews. I've got 20 books out there. If I had time to do that, I would have actually known what the negative reviews were in my book, which I was trying to show you some ones, because I think it was a different book that they actually hit and actually started ranting about me being a racist or whatever it was. It's like, gosh, like thanks for leaving that on Amazon, but whatever. That's the really funny thing. So she knows that she set off a Twitter storm. She says, I've got a lot of bad press about this particular post. I wanted to clear things up. I was devastated, not because it was 3 stars, but because I thought I'd written a book that was good, not as good as I'd hoped. I write books to be read. I'm desperate for people to tell me what they liked and I created. Well, gosh, again, if you want to be a professional author, don't be desperate for people's approval. Really, the best art you're going to create is when you're out there not caring what other people think, because you are understanding your craft and you're like, okay, I want to create something artistic. I'm not just going to do it just for like some random approval online. If you're doing it for that, gosh, there's other ways to do that, especially if you're a woman, you just post anything, and you're going to get a lot of random approval online. Next, I thought that a lot of the comments in the review were unfair, not based on fact, about the book having been beta raid by yes men. Oh my gosh, whatever that says. This is my first verified purchase review. I was really worried that people would read this and be put off by my book. Well, guess what? A lot of reviews are going to come in, and if you keep selling it, you're not going to have that problem because you're going to have so many reviews, it's not going to matter. That's going to be the thing. Now, I found this pretty interesting because she's got 35,000 followers, yet this is her first book, and I'm noticing like on this sort of thing, while she's getting a lot of engagement right now because this is going viral, and she's got this right now, the trolls are out to get me. Now because she's whined about it on X, this is what she's going to get. And this is exactly why you don't do this kind of thing, because it's ridiculous, and it just causes problems. And now she's complaining about trolls. Well, gosh, that's your deal. Now what? You just wait it out, my friend, and wait for more people to read it. Now, the good news for Charlotte here is that because more people are clicking on her book, that means more people are buying her book, which is what she should ideally care about as an author, right? You'd think so. But as you can see, like, her entire deal is just all about just playing victim money, taking a break on social media. Yes, she's angry and she's upset. She's still waiting on that moment. We're all human, right? What author doesn't want their first review to be 5 stars? I was sad for a bit. Got loads of nice posts, but hell, was not expecting this trollish bile. Why do people feel the need to lay into you for saying how you feel? Well, here's the deal, Charlotte. You don't need to use Twitter as therapy, and that's the deal. You don't use YouTube as therapy, Twitter as therapy, anything as therapy, because if you do, it's really ridiculous on the internet, and it shows you're not a professional at what you do. It shows that you're just an amateur trying to LARP as something, and that seems to be what's going on here. Because for all of these posts that she has a ton of views and the like on, you can see that as you get into her posts below, where she's talking about things, and here's somebody talking about their other book. Yeah, who cares? Don't you know Queens of Vorn was out last Friday? Like, every post of hers is playing victim on something stupid. Like, why are you taking somebody else's book, being like, yeah, but my book's out too? I mean, you're really desperate for people to pay attention to you. And guess what? You got what you asked for. People are paying attention to you now. And gosh, must not check sales stats every hour. I'm becoming obsessed. Now, again, for 30-something thousand, having 1.8 thousand people view this is not very much. So I'm guessing she kind of bought some followers or something like that, because she really doesn't get a lot of engagement or anything like that outside of this 5-star review thing where she's complaining about this review thing. So as authors, I got to tell you guys again, don't complain about reviews on the internet. It does no good. I watched a live stream the other day. There was this guy who did an hour and a half whining about some guy making a video review about his book. It's absolutely crazy, and every single time it's a completely bad look. And like I said, it just makes you look unprofessional and like you have no idea what you're doing because you're begging for attention. You're begging for people to read your books. And if you have to beg, is your book really worth reading? I don't think so. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this viral post. Hilarious stuff. I'm enjoying it. I think it's very funny watching somebody just lose their mind over getting some reviews and getting just absolutely crazy. 3 is being kind, somebody said. Someone left a 1 star on one of my books, and here's all these people out there. Ask friends and family to help. Lame. And you're not allowed to do that on Amazon, by the way. Bought my copy. I'm loving it. A lot of people were trying to virtue signal on here for her. And let's look at some of the quote tweets here because this is where it gets kind of fun as we view the post engagements here. Normal authors. Someone wrote a bad review of my book, and now I'm going to quit writing. Me? Oh, yeah. Someone once wrote a bad review of my name. Actually, it's a fantastic review, this Katie Room says here. One more thing before I go away for the day. My favorite 1-star review of my book. The whole thing seems a mass stab, let's say an exercise in self-gratification. Pretty funny stuff right there. Israel is starving 2 million people in a death act of unimaginable cruelty, but that's not real. Unlike the genocide in her book. Oh, my gosh. Writing community author gets fantastically detailed and constructive 3-star review. Multiple potential poll quotes. Writing community author. It's so over. Yeah, this is the crux of it right here. Hilarious. Personal anecdote, when my first book was published through a small press, I had a lot of glowing reviews, both from people about 3 months after the release. A trusted mentor read it. When this person finished, asked what they thought. There was a response I shouldn't have published, that I wasted my time and I should quit writing altogether. Ooh, that's painful. Why is this author throwing a tantrum over the 3-star review? As you can see, the internet is eating this up because she's clearly just going for attention. What do you guys think about this? Leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. Make sure to leave reviews. This one's good. If you want to, I don't mind, obviously. Read The Stars Entwined if you haven't. I'm going to put this in the description below. But if you have read my other books, the new ones especially, the Demon's Eye and Immortal Edge especially, really need reviews on those. Enjoy my newsletter where I can find you and give you some free books and always keep you up to date on new releases. Appreciate reporting on the news, the fantasy news, my friends. Thanks for being here. Happy Sunday. We'll be back soon.